Hello, and welcome to another episode of Chasing Mysteries Gardens. I'm Rebecca, and along with my wife Karen, we are on a mission to renovate and rejuvenate our little piece of earth. Today is August 22nd, and we are towards the end of the Every Bit Counts challenge. So for today's project, I am going to make something I haven't made before, and that is corn salsa. We live in a pretty corn popular area. So the corn is always, during the season, it's really fresh, it's very delicious, and that is what I'm going to use to make the salsa. So I have all the ingredients here. I'm going to chop everything up, and I'm going to show you how we can it. It's very, very easy. It only has, I think, 3 steps to it, and I think the most time-consuming part is chopping everything and getting everything ready for the canning process. So I'm going to take you along on that journey as we can corn salsa. So Karen is currently building a shelf. We may use it for storage of all the canning I've been doing, or we may just use it in the garage. I'm not quite sure, but if you hear saws and screwdrivers and drills, that's what's happening over here in the garage. Measure 50 times, cut once.
Not cutting this now.
So I have to start by shucking a lot of corn. So let's get started. We got 1. I think I'm doing 14 today, so got a ways to go. But I just wanted to tell you the other ingredients that we're going to need while I'm chopping. So red pepper, jalapenos, garlic, we need lime juice. I'm going to use red onions today. We also need cumin and salt and pepper. And then I have some fresh oregano. Then you also need some sugar and some vinegar. I'm going to use white vinegar today. So I mentioned that we live in a corn popular area, and it is so popular that they have a corn festival every year. I did not get a chance to go to it this year. It's like a carnival. They have rides and games and things like that, and then they also have corn, anything you can think of, and then they also sell corn, and the way that they do the butter around here is that they take the corn and then just dip it into a vat of water that has butter on the top. So they'll dip it in and pull it out, and then your whole corn is covered in butter. So while we are talking about corn, I would like to know, are you a roller? When you put butter on it, are you a roller or are you a spreader? So put into the comments below whether you like to just roll your corn on a stick of butter or if you prefer to spread it on. You want your corn to be as fresh as possible. We bought this yesterday from a local farm stand. Not sure how long ago they picked it, but the vegetables there are always fresh. This one might have a worm. Yeah. Looks like just the end is soft. This corn is super hairy. I think it's starting to sprinkle. Not going to bother to break off the stems because that actually will help hold on to the corn when we take it off the cob. I'm also not that concerned about the hair I don't mind it. I don't think it'll affect anything. Take off as much as possible, but I'm not going to be nitpicky. Yeah, it's sprinkling. So we're going to chop this red pepper. Into bite-sized pieces that are pretty much the same size as the corn kernels. Now, the recipe only says 1 bell pepper. I would think that you could put in as much of this ingredient along with the jalapenos. You could probably add as much as your taste prefers. I'm just going to do the 1. And we're going to put it directly into our stock pot. The recipe calls for half a cup of chopped and seeded jalapenos. This is the first harvest of jalapenos I've done. One large onion chopped. This is, to me, a medium onion, so I think I might do 1.5. Although red onion is a lot stronger in flavor. We'll see what it looks like once we chop it up. I ended up doing 1.5 onions. Now we need 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to use 2 of the garlic that I grew because it is just so large. Need a 1/4 cup of fresh oregano. I was not able to grow oregano this year. All right, my hands are sticky from the garlic, so I'm gonna go and wash my hands. 1/4 cup of oregano. 3/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to take these limes and I'm going to roll them so that I can get as much juice out of them as possible. I wish I had a juicer right now, but I'm not going to the basement to get it. So we're just gonna poke it like this, and then squeeze it directly into our measuring cup. We need a cup of lime juice. So this is a 1/4 cup, and I got to do it 3 more times. You need a tablespoon of cumin. A tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 2 cups of vinegar. Now for the corn. There are many ways that you can get the corn off the cob. You can use a knife and just cut it off. You can use a fancy cobber that cuts it down like this. But what I'm going to try today is a tip that I saw on that 1870s homestead by using a mandolin. So this is the exact mandolin she had, except my handle is green. And she had it on setting number 3. So we're going to try it and see how it works. So you take the corn and you just run it down your mandolin. All right, let's see. Oop. I think you have to have it at one steady angle. Yeah, that didn't take off too much. Hers came off so much better. I don't think this is going to work for me. It's leaving a lot of corn on the cob. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use a knife. This is a classic example of what may work for some, might not work for another. So even though this mandolin method worked for her, it didn't work for me, at least not for what I want. It doesn't make her method wrong. It doesn't make my method right. You can do things differently and do what works for you. So there could have been many reasons. Even though the mandolins look the same, her blade could have been sharper. She could have a different method. She could be holding it different that I just don't know about. The depth of the blade could be different. So there's lots of different things, reasons why it might not have worked the same for me. So I'm just going to do the knife method and get all of this corn off the cob. So the way we do this is super easy. You put the stem part into the bowl. You do want to try to get, when you're doing it this way, get the thin husk off. And then simply just run your knife evenly down all of the different sides of the corn. Try not to dig too deep because you don't want too much of that milky corn substance in your salsa. So we are not going to waste these. There's actually still quite a lot of corn on here in the inner depths of the kernels. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try another that 1870s homestead project, and I'm going to make some corn cob syrup using the corn cobs. But I don't have time for that today. I'm going to put these in a bag and put them either probably just in the refrigerator because I think I might have some time to do this tomorrow. But they will keep for a day or two until I am ready for that project. Now we need 8 cups of fresh kernels. So there's 1. 2. 'So out of those 3 cobs, I got about 2.5 cups. So I'm going to keep going with the rest of my corn. So from that 14 ears of corn, I got 10 cups of corn kernels. And the recipe only called for 8, but I'm going to put in all 10 because I find that most canning recipes are off just a little bit, at least from my experience. So now I'm going to take these just to prep them a little more for corn cob syrup. I'm going to cut these stems off of these. Maybe. I think I need a better knife. Now we are just bringing our mixture up to a boil where we will let it simmer for 20 minutes before putting it into the jars. Doesn't that look delicious? It's so beautiful. Smells amazing. Look at how beautiful that is after 20 minutes of cooking. All right, now we go put it in some jars. Now we want to fill these and leave a 1/2 inch of headspace. I can get some more in there. Now, oh, no, that's about perfect. I'm actually gonna take a little out. Oh my gosh, you guys, this tastes so delicious. Right now I'm just gonna debubble it. It's a little more liquidy than I would have thought for a salsa, but it is possible that it could thicken up. Now I'm just going to wipe the rim with some vinegar because there is sugar in here and it is a little sticky. Whew. That is hot. There we go, one jar. Now we are going to process these for 15 minutes once this comes to a boil. And there you have it. We got 3 pints and 6 half pints out of that recipe. And the tops are popping as I speak. It's a wonderful sound to hear. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more and follow us as we continue the Every Bit Counts challenge and try new things like corn salsa. And as always, suki suki. Love the earth, love yourself, love each other. Till next time. P.S. This is the shelf that Karen built today. Out of pallets. It does still need one more leg. Right here. The leg to go up and down there. But it is done, and it will hold some stuff up off the ground in the wintertime. Gives us a little more storage.